inspires me to continue to try to heal.
Mitch and I met about 49 years ago when we were both in college. We met at a New Year's Eve party and we got married the following year. You know, in many ways, I felt that we had a very charmed life. We were very lucky. We both liked our professions. Mitch is a pharmacist. He loves it. I'm a nurse, and I really enjoyed my profession. We have two really great kids, great grandchildren. And just one day, he was short of breath. This was all during the COVID time where you drop them off at the emergency room and you keep your fingers crossed. So luckily, you know, I dropped him off with his phone and a charger, and I said, please FaceTime me and keep me in the loop so I can help you. Because I did know he was so short of breath, the thing that was an obstacle for him was giving information. So there we started. That's when I really got a real idea about how I had to help this guy get this through this journey. His first thing was that they didn't know what was wrong with him. It took a while to figure it out, about a week. Then he started treatment. In the beginning, it was very difficult because he developed a DVT, blood clot in his leg, almost immediately after they started treatment, so it stopped treatment. He then developed a perforation in his bowel, which required him to have emergency surgery, a week in a surgical ICU, and I would say there he was very, very critically ill, and there were many doctors who were preparing me for the worst. And I just had to be very strong for Mitch, and I had to, which is not my way, I had to absorb his optimism. Mitch is an extremely optimistic guy. I am not an extremely optimistic person. That's something I work on. But I had to embrace that in being a caregiver because that was going to keep him alive. He came out of that. He was able to come home. He couldn't even walk, you know, so a lot of physical therapy and then the treatment with vasculitis. Luckily, he responded to the vasculitis treatment, and then, you know, our journey went from there. You know, he was in renal failure, and we were lucky enough that I was a match, and he had a transplant, and here we are, managing the disease now and trying to get our life back. First thing I would say to caregivers is try to be as calm as you possibly can, gather as much information as you possibly can. Feel free to try to get other physicians if you're not happy with what you hear. Just constantly support your loved one. Involve them in their care at the point they are in their illness. There'll be times when they can barely participate and you're just going to be giving them information and answering for them, and then reminding them that you will stop doing that once they are capable of taking care of themselves and encouraging that. I think that those are really important, and of course, take care of yourself. You can't take care of somebody else if you didn't take care of yourself. I would say really the whole experience is to focus on what we have and not to focus on what we lost. And to think about what we do now is we think about what we're going to do and how we have to adjust it to vasculitis, whether it's getting his medications in, eating, the heat, the rest, what we need to do, and make it like just part of what we do so it's as normal as possible.